Have you ever looked at a new AI tool and thought, that's just a simple wrapper around something like ChatGPT?
Hmm.
What if those really simple seeming applications are actually hidden gold mines,
Yeah.
quietly generating
Yeah,
millions?
it's a natural first thought, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's easy to dismiss them. But what we've kind of discovered is, look, these aren't just connecting to an API and slapping on a pretty interface. Not at all. They are deeply, meaningfully solving real specific problems for people in ways general AI tools just, they can't match. And yeah, some are making genuinely incredible revenue. We are talking millions of dollars. Serious money.
Today, we're taking a deep dive into precisely that whole phenomenon. Our recent research, it's really a collection of insights from very successful AI product builders, and it challenges that common idea that simple AI apps are somehow less valuable. We'll unpack why these solutions are thriving, look at some fascinating real-world examples that, well, I think they'll likely surprise you, and then, most importantly, map out a clear path for how you could maybe build something similar. It's really all about understanding the subtle but profound insights hidden beneath the surface of what seems simple.
Mhm.
So let's really unpack this a bit. The initial perception, like we said, is that AI wrappers, and just to be clear, we mean applications that build a specialized, user-friendly interface around powerful underlying AI models, like OpenAI's APIs, right? Tailoring them for very specific tasks.
Right, specific tasks or workflows.
Exactly. The perception is that they're simplistic, but our analysis, it fundamentally challenges that view.
Oh, absolutely. These aren't just random apps floating around out there, the ones that genuinely succeed. They do so by precisely pinpointing these deeply felt user struggles,
Mm.
beat. And then crucially, they don't just offer an AI answer, they craft an incredibly easy to use solution that smoothed out the entire process. They truly solve the whole problem, not just offer a little piece of it.
Mm, that's a crucial distinction. So it's not really about the raw AI power then, is it? So what's the core differentiator we're seeing for these successful applications?
Simple. They solve specific problems with a superior user experience. That's basically it.
Okay, so our research points to three fundamental ingredients for success here. It's essentially the bedrock these successful companies build upon.
Yeah, first, you absolutely have to solve a very specific problem. Don't try to be everything to everyone. That's such a common trap. Instead, pick one clear, undeniable pain point that users genuinely struggle with. Really narrow it down. Beat.
Mhm.
Second, you must create a superior user experience. Yes, okay, your users could go directly to ChatGPT or whatever, but your wrapper, your tool, it has to make the process significantly faster or easier, or maybe produce a more professional, tailored output. Think about washing machines. You could wash clothes by hand, right, of
Yeah.
course. But the convenience, the efficiency of a machine, it changed everything. Convenience, specialization, and just a seamless flow. That's what wins.
Okay, makes sense. And the third ingredient, it seems almost obvious maybe, but it's often overlooked.
Focus. Focus on a very clear customer type. You need to know exactly who you're serving, what does their daily life look like, what do they truly need. This kind of laser-like clarity, it guides everything. The features you build, how you price your service, how you market it. Without that focus, you're just kind of throwing darts in the dark, hoping something sticks.
That really resonates. But let's linger on that user experience point. Why is that superior experience, that ease and professionalism, why is that more critical than just the raw underlying AI power itself?
Because it makes complex AI fast, easy, and professional for the user.
Right. Let's make this concrete. Let's look at some real-world examples. Our first one, sheetsresume.com. It targets individual job seekers, right? An AI-powered resume builder. And here's where it gets really interesting for me. The founder wasn't just some tech person. They were actually a former recruiter. That deep inside knowledge, that was a massive advantage.
Exactly. They understood the nuances, the little things recruiters look for. So users just connect their LinkedIn profile, pretty simple, and the AI goes to work. It pulls the relevant info and then writes these compelling industry-specific bullet points. It totally removes that agonizing, staring at a blank document headache we've all had. That founder's specialized domain knowledge, that became their unique competitive advantage. It's huge.
And they operate in this massive B2C market, right? A huge potential audience. But the need isn't typically recurring. You only update your resume every few years, maybe. So how did they crack the pricing strategy for what seems like a non-recurring problem?
Ah, good question. They charge a $99 one-time fee, lifetime access. Now think about it from the job seeker's perspective. Landing a better job, or even just getting interviews faster, that $99 becomes a phenomenal return on investment. A no-brainer, really. It's a single payment that perfectly suits the non-recurring nature of the core problem they solve. It's smart. It's about the value provided, not just raw usage metrics.
And the numbers for Sheets resume are pretty compelling. They see around 135,000 monthly visitors. Now, even if you take a conservative conversion rate, say 0.5%, that still suggests over $66,000 in monthly revenue, though they've apparently reported closer to $20,000, which is still a very significant income for such a specialized tool.
All right, and $20K is nothing to sneeze at. But here's the true genius, I think. They didn't just stop at resumes, they expanded, but thoughtfully. Now, they offer AI cover letters, tools for mock interviews, even an AI-powered job board. They understood their customer deeply, saw the whole journey, and decided to build a comprehensive solution around that entire job application process, not just that one initial step. Very smart expansion.
So thinking about that pricing model again, what's the biggest lesson we can maybe take away from Sheets resume's strategy?
Price for the value to the customer, not just the recurring need.
Okay, let's shift gears. Our next example is cuppa.ai. This one tackles the complex challenge of content creation, but for businesses. So we're talking not just writing one article, but creating a lot of content consistently and often at scale.
Yeah, and this is where that whole wrapper concept really shines for B2B, for businesses. Sure, okay, the marketing team could use ChatGPT directly to draft some articles. Fine. But Cuppa AI, it offers a complete system. You upload your brand guidelines, your voice, all that stuff, and then it can generate hundreds of articles with a consistent tone. Then, and this is key, it can publish them directly to WordPress, handle the SEO optimization, even help manage content calendars. It's a workflow tool.
It really is like the difference between, say, cooking one meal for yourself versus running a full-service restaurant kitchen, isn't it? Cuppa AI manages that whole complex workflow.
Exactly. That's a great analogy. And they've clearly targeted small businesses, maybe marketing agencies, or even solo content creators, basically customers with ongoing repetitive needs. Content is constant for them. So this makes the subscription model absolutely perfect. They have like $25 or $60 monthly plans, and they cleverly highlight that $60 plan, which is, a classic psychological pricing tactic. It gently guides users towards the more comprehensive offering.
Right. And Cuppa.ai sees around 40,000 monthly visitors. Their estimated monthly recurring revenue, based on that traffic, is maybe around $18,000, although, interestingly, their actual reported revenue is closer to $30,000.
Yeah, and that higher actual revenue, it really suggests they've got either better conversion rates than we estimated or maybe just fantastic customer retention. People stick around. And this model works precisely because it's not just about content generation. It's a complete content workflow solution. That WordPress integration alone, that probably saves their customers hours every single week. It streamlines what can be a really messy, time-consuming process. That's real, tangible value right there.
So how does Cuppa AI specifically exemplify that core idea we keep mentioning, solving the whole problem?
It integrates content creation, branding, SEO, and publishing seamlessly.
Okay, now for perhaps the most surprising and frankly biggest success story we came across, Aethor. This is an AI writing assistant, but it's specifically focused on academic research. And when we say success, we mean over $1 million in monthly revenue. That's just a truly staggering figure for what seems like a very niche AI tool.
It really is. But this is hyper-specialization executed perfectly. Think about academic writing. It has incredibly specific, often kind of daunting requirements, right? Precise citation formats like MLA or APA, complex research integration, very formal structures, specific academic language. And it's also a massive global market. Millions of college students, grad students, professional researchers worldwide, all these individuals constantly need to write papers, essays, theses with proper citations. It's a constant pressure.
The numbers are, well, they're frankly hard to wrap your head around. 1.3 million monthly visitors, and at an average price point of around $20 per month.
Yeah, do the math. That's how you get to over $1 million in monthly recurring revenue. Just incredible. And their marketing strategy is also absolutely brilliant. Get this. A massive 62% of their traffic comes from organic search. So people are actively out there searching for exactly this type of solution. They found a massive need. Plus, they effectively leverage TikTok and Instagram influencers, which, makes perfect sense for reaching their student demographic. They are just everywhere their customer is looking.
It's impressive. So from what we've seen with Aethor and others, what makes academic writing in particular such a perfect niche for an AI solution like this?
It's a required skill with specific, often difficult formatting demands.
Okay, so after looking at these really incredible examples, Sheets Resume, Coupa, Aethor, what does all of this mean? For someone like you listening, maybe looking to build something similar, our insights, they really highlight some very clear recurring patterns emerging from these successes.
Yeah, definitely. First, and look, we keep coming back to this because it's so important. Solve the whole problem. Don't just give people raw AI output and walk away. These successful companies, they solve the entire workflow, from that initial pain point right through to seamless delivery. Second, know your customer deeply. Your own domain expertise, whatever it is, that's your unique advantage here. Sheets Resume's founder being a recruiter. Perfect example. Leverage what you know. Third, price for value, not just cost. Okay, AI generation might be getting cheaper, but the value your solution provides, that can be immense. Your pricing should reflect that value. Don't undercharge. And fourth, always plan for systematic growth within your niche. Don't just leap randomly to new features. Expand thoughtfully, serving your existing customer base more deeply.
It really, really sounds like the technology itself, the underlying AI or the web stack, isn't actually the biggest hurdle to getting started these days.
Not at all. Honestly, the technological barrier to entry is incredibly low today. It's kind of democratized. Most of these successful businesses we looked at, they use a very standard web tech stack. Something like React or maybe Vue for the front end, the part the user sees, then Node.js or Python on the back end for processing requests and connecting things. OpenAI's API or similar models from Anthropic or Google handles the core AI intelligence. For data storage, you're looking at standard stuff like PostgreSQL or MongoDB. Stripe is almost always used for payment processing.
Mm.
And then standard cloud hosting like AWS, Google Cloud, or maybe Vercel for simplicity, Beat. The beauty is you can genuinely build a basic functional version, an MVP, a minimum viable product, in a matter of days or just a few weeks now. It's almost more like assembling Lego blocks of existing technology than inventing something totally new from scratch. That's quite a statement. So is the tech stack really that simple to set up for, say, a solo builder or maybe a very small team? Yes, absolutely. Modern tools and even no-code or low-code platforms make basic versions buildable in weeks, sometimes even faster.
Okay. And our research also provides a pretty clear, actionable plan for anyone interested in actually pursuing this. It's broken down into distinct phases.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward, really. Phase one is all about research and validation. Super critical. Start by identifying your own expertise. What do you know really well? Then, within that area, find genuine pain points. Talk to people. Research the existing competition. What's out there? How are they falling short? And crucially, validate that there's real demand for a better solution. Don't build in a vacuum. Then, phase two, planning and design. Define your specific solution in detail. What will it actually do? Plan your minimum viable product, your MVP. And be ruthless here. What's the absolute smallest version that still completely solves that core problem you identified? Don't overbuild. Then, choose your business model, one-time subscription, and design a truly intuitive user experience. Make it as simple and delightful as possible.
And then, logically, comes the building and the growth phase.
Exactly. Set up that technical foundation we talked about, the Lego blocks. Integrate your chosen AI capabilities. Build those core MVP features first, nothing else. And test everything rigorously. Test, test, test. Beat. Then, maybe do a soft launch. Get it into the hands of real users, maybe a small group first. Gather their feedback mercilessly. Be open to criticism. Iterate based on what they tell you. And then focus heavily on marketing and expansion. Think about SEO from day one, targeted social media, maybe strategic influencer partnerships like Aethor did. That's how you scale up.
That makes sense. Thinking about that MVP stage again, what's maybe the biggest mistake you see new builders often make when they're planning that initial version?
Oh, easy. Trying to build too many features instead of just relentlessly focusing on solving that core problem really, really well.
Right, the focus again. So if we try to distill everything we've talked about today, all these examples, all these patterns, what's the big idea here? What's the core takeaway?
It's this. Simple AI wrappers, the ones people sometimes dismiss. They are absolute potential gold mines. They succeed by specializing deeply in a particular niche, solving the complete problem for their users, not just part of it, pricing for the immense value they provide, and planning for systematic, thoughtful growth within that chosen niche. It always, always comes back to truly knowing your customers, understanding their needs, their workflows, their journey, inside and out. That's the secret sauce.
And the future of these wrappers, it isn't static, is it? It seems like it's evolving really rapidly. We're definitely going to see increased specialization, even more niche tools, even more seamless integration into existing professional workflows, so they just become part of the fabric of how people work.
Yeah.
And the rise of multimodal AI, combining text, images, maybe even video in powerful new ways. Expect to see highly sophisticated, industry-specific solutions emerge for things like law, medicine, finance, whoa. Imagine these tools scaling to handle like a billion queries a day. The scale is
hmm
potentially massive.
Exactly. The opportunity isn't disappearing, not at all. It's just shifting, evolving. And frankly, it's only getting more interesting.
Mhm.
And, we also need to touch on the ethical side briefly.
Ah, yes, absolutely. Important point, especially with AI.
Definitely. Academic integrity, especially with tools like Aethor, right? It's crucial to position your tool as an assistant, a helper, not a replacement for critical thinking or original work.
Uh,
Data privacy is massive too. You have to be transparent about how you use user data, secure it properly. And AI bias is a real thing. These models can inherit biases from the data they're trained on. You need to be aware of that. Heck, I still wrestle with prompt drift myself sometimes, where the AI's output changes unexpectedly. So understanding these limitations and biases is critical.
hmm Very important considerations. So the only real question left for you, listening now, is this. What problem will you solve? Take some time, maybe after this, to really think about your own unique expertise, the industry you know best, or even just the daily frustrations you see or encounter yourself. The next million-dollar AI solution might just be hiding there in plain sight, just waiting for you to uncover it.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone.
We'll see you next time.